Hey guys, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking. We got Bargo back in house. He has no video though, but he's a Galaxy Note 9 in case you wanted to know. Here, maybe I'll give him a name. All right, there you go. All right, so he's here, and we're going to talk about some Leaf stuff, some NHL stuff as usual. We're keeping it bi-weekly for now. As we get into the new year, we'll start to pump out some more videos. So we'll start off with the first thing. I guess let's just get it out of the way, the Olympic talk. So the NHL is saying they're going to the Olympics still now, no matter what. But Gary Bettman is saying it's up to the players to choose whether or not they want to play. Do you guys have any take on that?
Well, I think it should be up to the players on what they want to do. But, you got the Olympics, you got the NHL season, and you got the playoffs as well. That's if they do make it to the playoffs, whoever it is that participates in the Olympics. It's a hell of a grind. But at the end of the day, I guess if it's up to them and whether or not they want to do it. For guys like Stamkos, who keeps talking about it being a dream to go to the Olympics, I mean, who's to say that it shouldn't happen?
Bargo?
I think a lot of the players will be in. I think
I think
they're going to play. So long. You have players who got to represent their country maybe once, some that even haven't had a chance yet. So I think a lot of them are going to jump at the opportunity.
So do you think Steven Stamkos makes it to the Olympics? That was going to be the next topic. I don't.
I have to see the roster. Most likely not, but because of his enthusiasm and history in the Olympics, he'll probably get picked.
I think he does. I think at the end of the day, there probably are going to be players that deserve to go that probably might not want to go, and that kind of opens up a spot for him.
You could be right.
I mean, if he really wants to go, and
I'm sure he can be a fourth liner.
Yeah, I mean, the Canadian team is very talented already, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not? Bergeron, Marchand, and Stamkos, fourth line. Why not?
There you go.
Okay, so I'll move on to the next thing. Vancouver. They fired Travis Green, this is funny because we talked about this in the last episode. What should Vancouver do? And we both were talking about coaching staff, GM, blah blah blah.
We talked about that it was going to happen, but did they deserve? Travis Green to me is a very, very good coach,
but it wasn't working.
It wasn't working. It just wasn't working.
It wasn't against him, but you needed to get rid of everybody. In my opinion, you had to clear house.
Yeah, and it's so funny, Campos, because I had an argument with somebody at a bar, literally last weekend after we did the episode, and it was a dude that was actually from Vancouver, and he was like, Vancouver sucks. So I'm like, no, Vancouver doesn't suck. They have a very talented team. It's just not working. So as soon as they get the right personnel and get the right system going, you're going to see a hell of a change. And lo and behold, Bruce Boudreau comes in, and what, 2-game winning streak?
3-game winning
streak. 3-game winning streak. There you go. So now they got Jim Rutherford?
I think is it?
God, I gotta look it up.
Yeah, you should check that before we say for sure. But
not
bad. Bruce Boudreau's a good coach. Boudreau.
Did you see he almost took a flip when he came onto the ice for the first time in years?
No, but that must have been amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's a good coach. 3-0. They have Carolina next game tomorrow on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. Bargo, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I think 2-3 years ago with him as a coach, they're doing really well. And they had some good runs, some good seasons. You had Besser performing at his best. Pedersen scoring goals like crazy. And then out of nowhere, they're just done. So the shakeup in coach is a good play. And a lot of teams bounce from that. As soon as they pop in a new coach, they're hot right away.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. Because there's no way his actual coaching has had a real impact yet.
Yeah, because he's had probably 2 practices maybe.
There's so it's mostly just they wanted to change, they got to change and let it happen. So
right.
Okay, staying with coaching news. So Alain Vigneault was fired from Philadelphia after Philadelphia has played absolute garbage all season, and they actually have a pretty good team. they're just struggling. They lost 10 games straight, and then they won, I believe, yesterday.
That's crazy. Just to point out, Jim Rutherford is the interim coach for Vancouver.
Okay.
So yes, I was right. On second, I put the Philly situation and the Vancouver situation in the same category. It's the same thing.
Needs a shakeup.
Yeah, I think Alain Vigneault comes off as a very nice dude, and I think his sort of coaching system and his personality just wasn't effective with the team, with the Philly team, Philadelphia Flyers right now. So just like Vancouver, it needs a shakeup. Now, if you're going to ask me who, there's a lot of coaches out there, but
do not say Mike Babcock.
It's funny because I wrote him down, but I was just kind of skeptical about saying his name. We just said his name, but I think Tortorella would be the best option as of right now.
Here's my thing, though. I don't think Tortorella is willing, or his contract as the whatever he is. I'm not sure what you call him, analyst. I don't know if he can get out of that contract. Can you just leave and go be a coach? That's not a bad choice. I would say Tortorella or even Travis Green. You want to go sign Travis Green. See how that works. Because Philadelphia is a better team than Vancouver by a long shot. And they just can't seem to figure it out, especially after last year. They were so good last year. Yeah,
and they only got better in the offseason. They made some good acquisitions.
Yeah, they made a smart move. The Cam Atkinson Voracek trade was smart. So I don't know. Continuing from that, just NHL news. So the salary cap is set to go up $1 million next year. It's confirmed now.
Rubbish.
I mean, it's better than zero. But okay, so here's a question, and I'm gonna let Caps go first because I know he might be prepared for this. But if you had to pick a realistic number that it should go up, what do you think it should be?
Before the pandemic, it was projected to go up $5 million or $3 to $5 million, I believe, right?
I think it was like
remember correctly,
3 every season. I don't remember.
And I think because of the fact that because the pandemic happened, it just really put a blow to the whole salary cap and the whole structure of the NHL. I would realistically go for $2 million. I think a lot of teams right now are just struggling to get cap space and struggling to make cap space for certain players that they have on the team. Therefore, they have to make trades or put people on waivers and all that stuff. I think $2 million is a good enough amount of money to give certain teams cap relief in this NHL right now. And then hopefully they generate enough revenue going forward where they can actually make a substantial jump on the cap.
Well,
but I think $2 million is a good number for a lot of teams right now to give them cap relief.
The league was planned. Their planned growth was 4.8 million for the season, or their planned revenue, and they made 5 billion. So,
5 billion.
That's but this is my thing. I'll let Bargo go with the salary cap, but who cares what the NHL is making? Shouldn't it matter what the individual teams? Like, they're the ones paying it. The NHL is not paying anybody. Why does that have anything to do with the salary cap? Go, Bargos. How much?
I would say like 3 to 4 mil. Gives you the opportunity to sign a third, second liner, depending on who it is. And based on so I was listening yesterday and they had the NHL managers meeting, and one of the analysts was talking on the radio. Their revenue for just merchandise is $5 billion. You tell them you can't raise the cap 3 mil?
And that's what I'm saying, though. The cap has nothing to do with the NHL.
Yeah. I don't understand how it fluctuates. The team has to pay that 3 mil if they fill it, not the NHL. Apparently, the players owe money as well. But going up 1 mil doesn't give you anything. 1 mil literally gives you nothing.
Okay, 1 mil, I'll take it.
Player.
I'll take the 1 mil, but I would like more. In my opinion, I think Nick is pretty close. I would say 2.5 is fair. Because with 2.5, you can sign you can sign 3 Marlies players, let's say, if you're the Leafs, and you just need, if you're the Leafs right now, you're trying to fill out roster spots. That's like where your trouble comes in with the cap for teams like that, is that you don't have enough money to fill in roster spots.
Does the cap give teams like Arizona sort of relief because they're struggling right now to even stay in their arena? Like, does that sort of have a hand in
It's
sort of
crazy
giving them some sort of relief?
if they're under cap, that means they should be under budget. But because they're not selling merch or filling the stands, where does the team stand? Yeah, the cap's going to go up for $1 million, but the team can't even afford to pay it probably.
So I guess what you're saying is that the amount of revenue that they're generating from merchandise, this is not all the teams. I would say this is more like
The NHL.
Yeah.
See,
it's more
and this is-
and
this
the players get a percent as well. And the players owe money for the lockdowns and stuff like that as well in games.
I don't want a flat cap, but I think there needs to be a flat cap put in place with a growth of a small growth, like $500K a year. And this is why I'm saying that. You make it like 90 million to the cap, and then it's flat for 2 years, and then every year it only goes up 500K. And the reason I'm saying that is because when teams know that there's going to be growth, they start offering ridiculous contracts, and you end up with Matthews, Marner, McDavid. Not that they don't deserve this money, but now you've put a new normal of these guys should be getting paid this much. So everyone's trying to pay these guys this much, and then it leads to there's no more cap space. So if people know that I only have this much to work with and it's not going to go up, they're not going to offer people $12 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're trying to pay the player what they're worth, but what it's worth right now. And like, I don't even want to get into like economy stuff with this either, but like, you're paying a guy $10 million a year. That, like, the Leafs have 3 players that's $30K. What does that leave them with? 50,000 to make their whole team, like Marlies, everything. It's just weird how it all plays. Like, the Leafs market is how much? 1.7 billion in value, second highest.
But the Rangers.
Yeah, but like you have like
the Leafs generate more revenue. The Leafs generate more revenue than the Rangers. The Rangers are just worth more because they're in New York.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you have teams like Arizona, for example, and they're not selling anything. But the NHL is making mad money anyways.
Seattle made a killing this year in terms of merchandise.
Imagine Vegas too.
It's so funny. We're talking about teams that need cap relief and trying to sign players. But meanwhile, like, the highest paid player in the NHL is what? 15 or no? What's McDavid's 14?
12.
Is it 12?
I think his cap hit is like 12.
13.
But then you got guys in like football and baseball and basketball making
I'm not saying they're not worth that much
30,
money.
40, $50 million a year.
But in basketball, the cap is 120 million, right? The point where you hit where you have to pay the fee, whatever it is $120 million. Baseball has no cap. Huh?
What's the market like basketball value compared to NHL?
It's way more. The NHL is the lowest of all the sports. MLS is probably worth more than the NHL at this point. But it's like,
go that far.
Well, look how much they're expanding. They're constantly adding new teams.
Yeah.
This is the thing, though. Do NHL players deserve as much money as those guys? Yeah, sure, but we're not paying it, so we got to live with what we have. I'm gonna
right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on from this.
They just can't right now. But yeah, go ahead.
So there's 2 things. I'm just gonna say it really quick. Just rapid news. Vegas has made a nice little uptick. They're doing pretty well. And Pacioretty right now in the last 7 games, Pacioretty has 7 goals and 11 points. Dude, in the last 7 games.
The teams that we said were going to do well, that didn't start well, are now doing well. So, like Vegas, Colorado, I think Chicago is actually playing better than before. Tampa, just like the Leafs, killed it in November. Like, all these teams are playing better. So, teams that we were expecting that were going to do well are actually doing well. So
yeah, it took a while for them to get going.
And here's the thing: the season is still pretty early on. Like, we're still like in the beginning of, well, I guess now mid-December. Still got about another 4 months, 4.5 months to go.
I mean, the real hockey starts in January, so
We've always said that, yeah. We've always said that.
last thing here. So there's been a rumor going around, whether it's true or not, I don't care. I'm just going to say it because I've been reading it a lot. Apparently in Edmonton, a lot of the players are complaining about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, saying that two things. One, they're trying to control everything that happens on the team. And two, they don't listen to anything the coach is telling them. They just do whatever they want.
The coach part is disrespectful, but the rest of the players, these guys are putting up 140 points a year.
That's what I kind of thought that too.
Hop on a ride and do your part. Don't worry about what they're doing.
I think it's just turning into a jealousy thing.
It is. And if the coaches are letting them do it and upper management is letting them do it, then leave if you don't like it.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually hearing this rumor, but if you got players on a team that need to step up, they need to step up, and you know, they need to play their part as well. Could you imagine if everybody was producing just like Draisaitl and McDavid? That team will be a monster. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, with the exception of a couple other players, that team revolves around Draisaitl and McDavid because of the fact that they are the guys that produce.
But do issues like that, regardless of what their individual situations are, do guys like that cause a rift to the point where no matter how good they do, they'll never win a cup because they can't play as a team because no one's buying in?
I don't think Edmonton's winning a cup.
Not with the goalie situation, at least.
There's quite a bit going on. Like, they allow a lot of goals against, and like if McDavid doesn't score or Draisaitl doesn't score, they're not winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine playing on a line with McDavid? Just stand there and let him pass. It's like playing with like Crosby or playing with any of those guys. Like two, playing with both of them.
He scored two of the best goals of the year already.
Crying. I would look like an all-star just being on the ice with them.
Yeah, Hyman's having the time of his life.
Talk to the coach.
Yeah, Hyman is a guy who's gonna go down as like a player that everyone's like, oh, remember Zach Hyman? Yeah, he was so great. No, remember when McDavid and Matthew shot pucks off your face and they went in the net? Like, get over it.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
But it's not. You're not.
But he looks like he looks a lot better because of the fact that he's playing with.
That's what I mean.
David and whatever
he's not Wendell Clarking it where he's bringing the toughness and scoring and shit on his own.
So your original question was
I was just talking about it. There was no question. No, it's just
you asked a question.
Do you think this causes a rift that stops them from winning a cup?
Yes.
At the end of the day, if their ultimate goal is to win a cup, I don't think anybody should say anything. Just ask Michael Jordan.
Hi, Michael Jordan.
Well, he was an asshole. So at the end of the day, he wanted to win, and he did not treat his teammates very well. So.
No, he asked a lot from his teammates, but he respected his coach and the organization, minus the GM.
That's different. Now, I can't really say whether or not McDavid and Draisaitl is doing that, but at the end of the day, I mean, if their goal is to win, I don't know.
Like the coach part, that has to change. And then the players will start to change their mindset.
Yeah,
they can't disrespect their coach, and then the other players have to listen. Like everyone has to buy into the coach.
Well, if I was the coach and I heard that kind of stuff was happening, dude, oh man, I don't care who you are. It's not
scratch.
Yeah, it's now people are going to be pissed off about that, but at the end of the day, they need to be told who is running the team and who isn't.
Exactly.
All
right, we're moving on. Peter Marazzic plays tonight.
Wait! Before we go into the Leafs thing, you didn't bring up the whole Fleury thing.
Okay, bring up Fleury.
So Fleury just hit 500 wins, man, and that's huge because him and only two other people, goalies in the NHL all time, had hit 500 wins. And that's a huge accomplishment for Fleury because he only did it in like 900 games. He played on some good teams, but the fact of the matter is, congratulations to him. That's a huge accomplishment for a goalie in this time of age to hit 500.
He's an all-time great.
He's definitely.
That's good for him. I wish he stayed in Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh
hits that
thought
accomplishment.
Matt Murray was going to be the next thing, and then Pittsburgh thought Tristan Jarry was going to be the next thing, and no.
Now Pittsburgh has goalie problems,
Yep.
and let's see what the next thing is.
Yeah, but you know what? Pittsburgh is actually killing it, eh? Like they beat Washington like last night, and they're still
Yeah,
playing
Crosby's
well
not right now. Crosby's on a
without knocking
7-game
out.
point streak.
Yeah. So sorry. now you
Let's
can go into
let's
the
never doubt Sidney Losby. All right.
Crosby.
Yeah, the Laws.
Anyway, go ahead.
They're an Ovi face off, don't they tonight?
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, sorry, I'm a day behind.
Yeah.
Slept 1 hour.
Someone's volume's really high for me. Anyways, the Peter Marazzic is in net tonight for the Leafs, and I mean he's just coming back from. This is exactly what happened last time. He came back from the injury. They played him right away, and he got hurt again. Predictions for tonight.
He had an AHL stint that lasted like a couple of games, but you know, I'm gonna let Bargo take this because I know he loves this kind of stuff. So
Trade his punk ass before he gets injured and you can't. Free up cap space. At the deadline, wheel in a defenseman or a forward. Make a little package deal. And I know how much, what's his name? Dubas. I know how much he loves his forwards. Pick up a forward. Drop him and pick up a forward. He hasn't even played.
It's funny because this is
him.
exactly what we talked about last week too.
You
Or
don't
in the
need
last episode. You package Marazzic with like Mikheyev or something, and then not only do you dump a chunk of cap, but you like Wool is playing good. I would rather have Marazzic as my backup goalie, but he's gonna get injured again.
If I was paying Marazzic like 1 mil, 1.5 mil, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not paying him.
I
3
think
mil.
that signing shocked everybody when it happened. Is he only getting 3 mil?
who?
Marazzic?
I think he was the same contract
3.8.
as what's his name? Anderson before.
No, Anderson had 5. This Marazic's got 3.8.
Yeah.
Just based on just based on the last game that the Leafs played, it's clear to me that Campbell needs some rest. And I mean, like you guys, like Campbell's was saying, like I'm good with Wool. I mean, the last game that he played, he still played it well, but he allowed a lot of goals. That was probably the most that he allowed in his whole tenure on the Leafs thus far. But in order to, I don't know if you guys want to comment this, but in order to generate interest in a player, you have to play him, right? And in this case, with Marazzic, they have to play him in order to have teams be interested in him.
I mean, everyone already
at the
knows
end of
what
the
he
day,
is.
yeah, I think at the end of the day, they probably will trade him. I think they will, but they have to play him, and they have to have teams see what
I
he
think
can
at the end
do.
of the day, I think if you put him in the Marlies, let him get on a little win streak, tweet it out on social media. Marazzic coming back, 7-game win streak, and the Marlies teams are going to be a little excited.
Yeah, the Marlies aren't winning 7 games in a row. So
Anyway, but in terms of your defense comments, I mean, yeah, I think we could make a couple trades here and there. In the last couple of games, because of the injuries with this team, they've allowed some of the players that they have on the Marlies play. And one dude in particular that I thought was really, really cool, and I think he played well for his second game. This is a player named Christian Rubins. And this guy's like 6'5", 230 pounds, 23 years old. And, for a guy that only played 2 games in NHL, he looks okay to me.
I'll take him over the other guy.
I mean, I think we all agree from top to bottom that Justin Hall had probably his worst game I've seen with the Leafs last game. So much so that he got demoted to the bottom pairing on a depleted Leafs roster. That's pretty messed up. They had to play Muzzin 25 minutes. No wonder he wasn't playing that well. He's not built for that. So I don't know if you guys want to chime in on that.
I
I mean-
haven't seen the last 2 games, so I can't chime in on that guy. But
Yeah, I don't like Hall. I don't want Dermott. Sandine going down. We'll get into the injuries, but I mean, it's you're in a weird situation. I'd rather let that guy play. Just let him play.
I would
I
let him
want to make
play.
a comment about the goalies quickly.
Yeah, go.
You're mentioning Wall playing Wall. He let in a lot of goals last game. Campbell being tired. I think if you look at your schedule coming up and you have some fair matchups, why not just rest Campbell and run Hall for 3 or 4 games in a row? If you're facing or you're on a road trip, play Wall on a back-to-back. Break him. Let Campbell get the rest.
It's so funny, Bargo. Like, I kind of agree with you on that, but the other thing is, I think the Leafs are just, the management is just scared. The coaching staff
Like, I
is a
mean,
little bit scared.
you're going to be facing teams like, I don't know if Arizona's coming up, but like you're going to face bad teams that are in the bottom of the NHL. That's when you play Wall, even if it's not a back-to-back, even if it's not a road trip game, just play Wall anyways. Let Campbell sit it out.
I mean, I think it's the best thing for Campbell. But on the flip side of it, I think the coaching staff is just a little apprehensive because I think they feel as though now is the time to rack up the wins. Now is the time to secure themselves a playoff spot, because it's come January and come February, we know historically that the Leafs have not have a very good January or February. So, and let's be honest, the East is by far more difficult than the West.
Oh, it's not even close.
You know what I mean?
There's like 3 good teams in the West.
I mean, Bargo, look at what just happened in the last game. The Tampa Bay Lightning took over second place in their division and bumped the Leafs down to third. Now, going into the playoffs, let's just say the playoffs were to start right now, the Leafs would have to play Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? It's either they play Tampa Bay or they play Florida, the Florida Panthers. That's crazy.
It's
That's
always
crazy.
gonna be like, and if it's not them, it's Boston.
Well, hey, Boston might not even make the playoffs this year, but
well, Tampa's gonna struggle because they have no Kucherov and they have no Point.
but they got Vasilevsky. That guy's just a brick wall. Like, you don't even need any of those guys. Just put Vasilevsky in that, and you'll win. You know what I mean? And Hedman.
You're not wrong.
I'm surprised he hasn't won the best in the last 2 years.
All right, so I forgot about this, so I'll just say it quick so we could get it out of the way. There was a Leafs trade. I forgot about it.
Do we need to mention it?
It's because we got rid of Curtis Gabriel finally. And
he didn't play.
Chad Chris. I know, that's that point. We got Chad Chris. Chad Chris is a former second-round pick. Maybe
I guess Clifford is a bit of an upgrade from Gabriel. Clifford is
not an upgrade from anything, but I mean,
we have to play him right now.
Yeah, we don't really have much choice.
I would rather see them bring up a young gun from Marlies than play that Bucky.
They will not.
Crazy guys, you guys mentioned that, and they brought up a guy named Alex Steves, but where's Nick Robertson? Is he still injured? Like, I
think
he's checked up on him. Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess.
There's other guys though. Like, I mean, you don't have to. My thing is if Clifford's not going to fight, Simmons is going to be the only one fighting. You don't need anyone else on the roster that's going to do any of that. Clifford isn't going to get you any goals. Clifford isn't going to play good defense. Clifford isn't going to hit. What is his purpose?
I didn't even
to play
Richie,
3 minutes.
I didn't see Richie drop the gloves. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even see Richie drop the gloves. And Clifford, he hits a couple, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
He can't even shoot. Like, I don't understand. Like, you have a team of finessed players offensively. You need players to go along with that. Bring up a playmaker from the Marlies. Bring up a goal scorer from the Marlies. If you're not going to allow your players to fight, that are fighters, why do you have them?
What are you doing with the Matthews line?
Yeah, like, get it together, man.
It's like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make a line where John Tavares has 2 guys to play with, and then we're going to make a line where Matthews plays by himself.
I don't think he wants to break up Nylander and Tavares and.
But Nylander's hot.
Keep that going, but
isn't Mikheyev back?
Goal. No.
Sorry?
Isn't Mikheyev's not back?
I didn't see him last game.
Put Kasha with Matthews.
That's actually might happen tonight. That's actually might happen tonight. Kasha with Matthews and Bunting. Yeah, that might actually happen tonight, which is fine because Kasha is actually playing very, very well.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I don't. Well, we could go over the injuries quick, and that's all I have. We don't have much time. You want
to talk about the Spezza thing, the suspensions?
Okay, I go. Give it to us quick.
I don't think Spezza should deserve 6 games. The guy's played 1,200 games. He's never been suspended in his whole NHL career. I think max 3 games.
Okay, I said 3 games.
You got a guy who just bit another guy and only got 5 games. Is that not accurate? And you gave Spezza 6?
Here's the problem with
BS.
Here's the problem. So I
see with retaliation though.
Yeah, and I see Spezza's thing. This is another situation. So when it's not a Leaf, Caps will tell you that, oh, he ran him, he charged him, he went to do it. Spezza did the same thing as all those guys you call out, Tom Wilson and all those guys. But in fairness,
making a comparison between Spezza and a guy that bit another guy.
But in fairness, Spezza was going in for the hit, and then the guy fell, and Spezza had no time to stop. But he
followed through with the hit though. He could have pulled out.
That's the problem. The thing against Spezza was he didn't just follow through with the hit. He dropped down and tried to hit him on the ice.
He wanted to hurt him.
Yeah, you could see that he was intentional. I agree with you about the things. I said 3 games. That was my guess.
I personally think that game is the refs should have been suspended.
Yeah,
because if that shit didn't go down with Matthews in the corner. You got Dubois gets what he wants. The whole team gets what they want. Matthews off the ice for 2 minutes. Then you have the knee on knee. Then you have Spezza stuff. Then you have Simmons getting thrown out of the game. Now you have all those guys. They can do whatever they want now. No Matthews. You have their only person who's going to fight. He's now game misconduct. It's a free for all now.
Yep.
You get to roam the ice. They can do whatever you want. You control the game now.
And that's not the first time that ref had lost control of that game. A game.
Matthews, as soon as the Matthews thing happened and they didn't call that, that's roughing. No matter how you look at it, that's roughing. Matthews shouldn't have got a penalty. I mean, maybe after, but not in the original play.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
That's why that shit happens. That's why players get hurt.
I mean, I don't know. Do we play Winnipeg again?
Yeah, at some point.
I would want to murder every single player on that team.
I don't know when they play them, but yes, they do.
Well, the Leafs need to get moments like that as like motivation to want to like stand up for yourself. Like look yesterday, Nico Hischier and oh my god, I don't remember the other guy threw down in like 180-pound fight right there. But
what I would do, I would sit Matthews, I would sit Nylander, and I'd Clifford, Nick Ritchie, Simmons, go out there and do your thing.
Yeah, have a line fight.
I would take the L. Go out there and do your thing. Don't mess with us no more.
Did they lose that game?
Yeah, like 6-3.
So what do you have to lose? Let the scrappers scrap.
31st of March is the next time they play Winnipeg. Oh God.
You miss those days though when it was like something happens, something goes wrong, and someone walks across the bench and gives Wendell Clark or Ty Domi a little tap on the head, and they know it's time to go out there and fight somebody.
We're used to the old NHL.
No, that's you can still do that now. I can still fight anybody I want. I can still fight anybody I want. There's no rule against me fighting somebody.
Yeah, but why do you sign players
that's his point. Why are you bringing in tough guys if you're not going to use them for what they're there for?
I don't understand.
You have Jason Spezza going around trying to take people's heads off when he's your best player on your team right now. Like, I don't even get it.
The idea is to bring these guys in because you want to tell other teams that you're not taking their from.
Yeah, but if you still take their when you have those guys, then what's the point?
That is a problem.
That's why you have a guy like Tom Wilson. You can speak how you want about him, but when it's time to throw down, he's going to fight every single person on the ice.
Like, literally, what is the point of having them if you have them for that reason?
Even Brad Marchand will throw down, and you like, I don't get it. Like, I just want the Leafs to have a mentality that if someone messes with your goalie or with your top guy, you're gonna fight them.
I don't know. I'm just gonna bring this up, and I don't know if you guys want to comment on it, but I just feel like they are being brought in because those guys want to do what they are always been doing since their whole NHL career. I just feel as though they are being told I don't know by who, but I feel like they're just being told to like bring it down a bit because they don't want to get penalties or all that stuff. They want to be able to like have the advantage all the time. And I feel like because of that, they're not playing the way they've always been playing.
And
That's just my
that's
opinion.
agreeable.
And you know, I don't know if
But
But that's why
listen,
they play so bad.
That's fully agreeable. But at the same time, if you brought them in to play skill hockey,
and
then
it's
they're
just
not the guy you
speculation.
bring in.
Like I'm not. I don't have any evidence or proof of that.
No,
That's
I
just,
agree.
Just a theory. That's all.
But that's
Okay.
exactly what it is.
Listen, we're gonna run out of time here. So quickly, we got all the injuries. Who was it? Sandine, Marner, Dermott, and
Mikheyev's still out. You got
Mikheyev, and you got Spezza with the suspension. The Leafs are looking at a rough time right now. Let's just hope that it goes well. Let's hope Marazzic doesn't get hurt again. Let's hope they win tonight. And that's all I have. So thank you for watching, and like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how much you miss Bargo in the comments. Okay, peace out.
Yay.